News of the industry is an interesting story from our friends at ingame.com about the gamification of America. USA, in America, we need to have a conversation. Do we want to bet on everything? I'm serious. Do we want to be able to bet on everything in society? There was a seminar last week where a sportsbook CEO, an economist, and an author of a critical book of gaming in America all agreed that gambling has leaked into everything and that nobody's doing much about it. We have essentially made gambling in America an 18-year-old activity. Our inability to police prediction markets and our inability to have an honest conversation about what's going on with prediction markets has created this situation where, as Jeremy Lopez, a writer for the New York Times, said, how did we get here? Well, the 2018 Supreme Court decision that cleared the way for legal sports betting lifted the lid on Pandora's box. This is true, but I think it misses the bigger point. And I think this is the point that so many people are failing to want to address when it comes to the gamification of everything in America. It's because no one is watching and no one is putting any type of guardrails on prediction markets. So we can bet on anything. How many Spotify listens will the first week debut for an artist? Will an artist win a Grammy? Will an actor win an Oscar? Will a best picture will go down? How about the soybean prices in China? Will it rain in Tennessee tomorrow? How about a governor race? How about a state Senate race? How about the State of the Union? Like, do we want to bet on everything? My answer to that is absolutely not. But my frustration with gambling on and where we are with everything in prediction markets has more to do with the lack of oversight as to what should be bet on and what should not be bet on, and then the age in which it's being done. Because we have now, whether we like it or not, we have made gambling, not just sports betting, but gambling, we've made it an 18-year-old practice. You're 18 in the country, you can bet on anything. Sports, politics, religion, heck, war. You're not supposed to, but for the most part, there's ways around it. We've seen it, right? Political action, military action. We've seen this. And so we have to have a conversation in this country about what do we want gambling to be? Is it an entertainment? Is it a distraction? Is it an activity that we do because we enjoy it and we're adults and let adults do adult things? Or do we want this woven into the very fabric of what it is to be an American? Because if we're not careful, that is what's going to happen. When I came to Vegas for the first time, one of the funniest things that anyone sees when they come to Vegas is they walk into a gas station and they will see a slot machine casino in the gas station. And people are like, damn, you can go and go do Wheel of Fortune and play the slot machine in a gas station? Then you go to our supermarkets and you walk into a supermarket and you're like, wow, you can play a whole, because I can go buy my food and go gamble? Really? And then our supermarkets put bars inside of our supermarkets. So now we have a supermarket, we have a bar inside the supermarket, and we have a casino inside of the supermarket. That's what we have in Nevada. I can tell you the rest of the country is not ready for that. The rest of the country does not want that. But we are allowing it to happen on our phones, and nobody is even blinking an eye. No one's talking about this. When people say there's a health crisis coming when it comes to gambling, I don't believe it's for sports betting. I think that's an easy target. I think that's a red herring. I don't think that's about sports betting. I think it's about prediction markets, the legalization of prediction markets, and the lack of oversight from the CFTC on prediction markets across the board. I mean, shit, Meta announced yesterday that they are going to look into starting their own prediction market. Meta, Facebook and Instagram. Do we really want to be scrolling Instagram and have Meta pop an ad up for their own prediction market? Hey, you like this dress that this actress is wearing? Find out or bet on whether or not she's going to win tonight at the award ceremony. Do we want this to happen? I don't want my daughter exposed to everything gambling related all the time. Gambling has its time and place. Gambling has its space in America. But when it starts to become so much part of everything that we do, I'm watching CNN and I'm watching odds go crazy. The Kalshi prediction desk. What the hell are we doing? Like, this is nonsense to me as we are allowing these things to go down and just be such a blink of an eye. And no one's questioning that we're now going to have odds and gambling on everything. I don't need to bet on everything. And I sure as hell don't need 18-year-olds on their phone firing random bets on crazy things every day. That's how you get an addicted culture. That's how you get people into trouble. And that's how we illegalize everything when it comes to betting. That there's going to be a massive overreaction and course correction on all this, that we've allowed so much of this to happen. I don't think the country wants to be like Las Vegas. I think Vegas is Vegas for a reason. This market has existed in its own silo for a while because people here understand what it is to be around gambling and they respect it. They know what it's like. They know the dangers. They're not stupid about it because they work in it. They work around it. I don't think if you put a Vegas culture, a Vegas type of gamble on everything in every type of Starbucks and every type of property you could walk into, you put that everywhere across the country, I don't think folks in Minnesota want to deal with this stuff. They don't want to see that. You know, it is a little depressing at times to walk in to a gas station at 2:00 on a Tuesday and see 4 old people in there firing away, stick $10, $20 in these slot machines that have the worst return and the worst odds. Like, that's not fun to see. Nobody likes that. But that's what's happening across the country. And we're now running into it where 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road, we're going to have so many kids addicted to gambling, not sports gambling, gambling, because we've allowed this to happen unchecked. That this government has gone ahead and just gone into bed with this and gone into actual business in prediction markets and allowed all sorts of companies to go crazy. They hire Mike Seelig from Kalshi to come in to be a head of the watchdog group that's supposed to protect the society from CFTC companies, licensed companies in the prediction market world. And there is none of it going on. So what happens? You get 3 people, a sportsbook CEO, an economist, and an author who's critical of sports gambling and gambling in America, who all get together and they all agree. Jonathan Cohen has been on this show. Matt King, who used to run Fanatics, and Kyle Scanlon, an economist, all coming up and saying, hey, we got a real big problem here. Anybody want to pay attention? Anybody willing to have a conversation that gambling leaking into every aspect of our life is not a good thing, that we don't need it, that it doesn't help society? We're supposed to be in our little group, okay? We like sports betting. We like betting on sports. We like betting in general. We're not the norm. Like, we are people who have grown up with it, understand it, realize it, respect it. We respect the problems that can come from it. And if our friends are addicted or we have a problem, we know where to go to get help. Some 18-year-old kid on his phone, he thinks he's playing Candy Crush and Kalshi at the same time and, Top Golf and all these different games. And everything is about betting. Like, oh, you want to bet on this? Hey, you want to bet on your next shot? Hey, you want to play digital poker? Hey, you want to play digital blackjack? All these things are being made available, and they're calling it prediction markets. It's like this one big catch-all right now. It's a really dangerous place to be at the moment. And I really hope at some point it might take the midterms. It might take the presidential election in 2028. This was a small problem. But as I told you guys before, the line that Steve Brubaker said on this show about prediction markets, that this topic would either be the biggest nothing burger and nothing to worry about, or the single biggest story in sports and gambling in the history of the action. And I think we're leaning towards the latter, that this is going to be the biggest conversation piece in the gambling space since gambling became part of America in the 1950s and 1940s. And we have a government who is determining to make money off of it, who they are going to make money off of people who are betting. There was a report that came out last week that on Polymarket, 70% of people on Polymarket are habitually losing. That's the dirty little secret with prediction markets. Everyone says it's different. It's not the same as a sports book. There's no VIG. There's no house. You still need losers. In order for someone to win, somebody else has to lose. That's how it works. This is not a zero-sum safe, quote-unquote, activity or safer activity than sports gambling. You're still going to lose. And you're still entering into a market where somebody may know the outcome and you don't. And you're betting into an unfair and tilted market and you have no idea that that's going on. But they need you. They need your money to pay out the other side. And we're not taking that seriously. We're not. The sports books are the evil villains. The sports books are go kill the sports book operator, right? Leave the prediction markets. It's a more clean and fair play for the consumer. No, it's not. Not even close. Look, I'm 49. Maybe I'm the old man yelling at the clouds, but is anyone going to pay attention? Is anybody going to pay attention to what's going on at the moment?